Okay, and we're live. Okay, so walk me through where you're at in the journey, and then that way I can kind of get a better feel for how I might be able to help you out.
Okay, so I started real estate like at 3 months ago from a friend.
Cool.
Um, he's been doing real estate, and he's been doing real estate for 3 years now. So he's pretty he has pretty good knowledge on it and the concept of it. So he taught me, the basics on what he does or what I'm supposed to do and all that.
Okay.
So he's my mentor. So he would send me over. As of right now, he just sends me over like a list, like at least 6 to 500 people or off market properties to cold call, and
Cool.
I cold call those. I think in the last list that he sent me, I have two follow ups from that list that I will be doing next week with
Okay.
those, and hopefully from hopefully those calls will go well to the point where I can close my first deal.
Okay.
But I'm currently in the military, so I'm active duty. I will be
Thank you
stationed.
for your service, by the way.
Thank you. I will be stationed in Korea in the next week or two from now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just looking to like this is something that, in the beginning I was mad, I was like really confused. I didn't really believe this. I was like, okay, you know, he's like something that you don't have to put any money into, and I'm like, I don't believe that there's always a catch or something. But
Sure.
like started to like do more research on it and then actually like see other people that actually shared their stories on it and how they went through it and how in the beginning they got their first deal. I started to uh, understand it better, and then I started connecting with more people,
Right.
and it's been something, like it's been something that's been on my mind a lot lately. So that's pretty much what it has
Where
been.
you at? Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. So, couple things. And this is me just thinking ahead. Now, when you, by the way, that's very smart of you to have identified a mentor. Okay, that's really, really good, because you're going to need one. And a lot of times, people jump into this and they're lost because they don't have anybody that they can turn to. So the mentor that you're working with right now he's a licensed agent, or he's just a savvy or a veteran investor.
He's just he's an investor along with
Cool,
me, also in the
cool.
military.
Also in the military. Okay, cool. All right. And 2 weeks from now, you're going to be heading over to Korea. And when you go over there, what are the time zone differences?
Uh, Probably I would say about one a day ahead, and two, like I would say, like right now, if I'm looking, if I can look. So right now where I'm at, it's 1:33, and right now 1:33 p.m. and right now in Korea it's 2:23 a.m.
Okay.
So it's about like a 13 hours ahead of us, or
Okay.
and plus. But I already thought of like what I'm gonna do because right now I'm mainly focused in the Atlanta market. So once I get there, I'm gonna try to see how the time what's the best time for me, like while being awake and stuff, that I can make calls
Sure.
at market, and the best time that would work.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that we're going to probably have to do is we're going to have to calendar it so that you could do it when you're not. I'm assuming you're going to be putting in a minimum of 40 to 50 hours a week, right? In
Yeah,
Korea, Y- right?
yeah.
So that might leave you a few hours a day that you might be able to dedicate to this, and maybe the weekends that you could potentially work it. And then, yeah, you're going to need those lists and you're going to have to adjust for the time. I mean, look, I met somebody that was doing this from Israel, and and doing some crazy numbers. So it's definitely doable. It's definitely possible. It's it's going to take some discipline, but you're in the military, and that's you eat, sleep, and breathe discipline. So
Yeah.
um, my brother was a career Marine, so I see it. I get it. Okay. All right, that's cool. So you're going to have to adjust your schedule so that
Hmm.
you can do that. And the good thing is that if you adjust your schedule right, you don't have to necessarily focus on one market. I want you to kind of figure out a way where you can maximize your time so that you're using EST, and then you can slowly gravitate to Central, and then you can slowly gravitate to Pacific. So if you use your time right, you can pick multiple markets in different time zones that you can still work during the free time that you have.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, and this is me just thinking bigger for you. The second thing that I think we should talk about is the script that you're using. So let's go over what it is that you say when you're calling these lists, and what kind of lists are you calling? Where is he pulling these lists, and what are the pain points for these lists? Like, what are they? Are they absentee owners, notice of defaults? What are they?
Most of the time it's just off market properties. Like
Yeah,
we don't know where exactly he's pulling the list from because I haven't like asked him that, but I'm pretty sure they're probably from either because he uses PropStream.
sure. Which is a
So
great service.
yeah, so he probably pulls like the list from there, hands it over us. But majority of like all I've looked at, like when I go over the lists, all of them that the most thing that they all have in common is that they're like really off market.
Okay.
Like it doesn't really say that the owner is absent or vacant or nothing like that. It's just like because whenever I do make the calls, some people say they're not selling. Some people uh say basically like how'd you get my number? Not interested. They hang up on you, so they don't
Okay.
I don't know how to category if they're like people that are willing to sell down the line.
So what I would suggest then is you propose or at least ask this question. Hey, what kind of lists are we calling? Are we calling absentee owners? Are we calling tax delinquents? Are we calling notice of default? Are we calling tax liens? Are we calling I mean, there's a whole bunch of different categories. The point is, you want to know what it is that you're calling, because the same script that I would be using for an absentee owner, I may or probably no, I'm almost certain I wouldn't be using with a notice of default. It's not going to be the same script. So if you're pulling a notice of default and then you're using the same script that you would on an absentee owner, it's probably not going to work. That's the first thing. So I think it's important that you at least have an inkling of like what list you're calling. That's pretty important. So
Okay.
I just ask, just find out, right? So that's the first thing. Now, the second thing is let's talk about the script. So what kind of script are you using? Why don't we do a quick role play? Why don't you call me? I'll be the seller. I'm not going to be too difficult with you, but I'm not going to be a lay down either. Okay. So why don't you call me, and then we'll go from there.
I'll probably have to get my like laptop because I don't have the script verbatim on my phone, and I only know like the first, because right now, okay, so thing is, he gave me a script
Uh huh.
off of it in the beginning, but I felt like the beginning of the script just didn't like it was not like to the point where um like I felt like I was going nowhere with the beginning of the
Okay.
script.
Okay. No
Or
problem. So then here's what we'll do. We'll practice. I'll be calling you. You're the seller, and I'm going to prospect you. And then the good thing is we're recording this so that you're going to be able to have the script. And when I'm done with this, I'm going to share the script with you.
okay,
Okay. So that way you have it. So, um, hi. You know what? I don't even know your last name. Forgive me, Kara.
got
Um, I'm just going to say Help me pronounce your name, Kiara, right?
yeah, you can say my last name, which is Scott. So
Okay. Hi. I'm looking for Mrs. Scott, please.
yes, this is her.
Hi, Mrs. Scott. My name is Paul Argueta. Listen, we've never met. Here's why I'm calling. I wanted to see if you might be open to an all cash offer for your property at 1234 Mockingbird Lane.
What's the offer?
Well, look, Zillow has a range of prices anywhere between about 175 all the way up to about 250,000. If you saw an offer somewhere within that range, is that something that you would even look at?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, if you were to sell, what kind of a price do you think you'd be looking for?
I would say about 150.
Got it. So you'd be looking for about 150,000. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Now, if I can get you the 150, and I'm not making any promises yet, but if I could get to that point, if I can get you the 150 that you're looking for, what kind of a time frame do you think you're looking at? Are we talking 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months? What would make it easier for you?
I can do 30.
You can do 30 days. Okay, got it. So what you're looking at is you'd like to get about $150,000, and if you got that price, then you could probably close this deal or be out of the property in about 30 days. Is that right? Did I lose you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I didn't hear that last one, but I asked, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Now, just out of curiosity, if you were to move, where would you move to next?
Um, Probably more up north. Stay close to
Okay,
family.
got it. So a little bit more up north. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So just to recap, we're looking for about 150,000. We can probably close this in the next 30 days. And if you do move, you're going to be moving a little bit more up north. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Now, let me tell you a little bit about how we buy properties. We buy them all cash. Okay, so the beauty about that is I'm buying it directly from you. There won't be any agents involved. And because there's no agents involved, I'm going to be able to save you on commissions. And that can be anywhere between 7,000 all the way up to $15,000 that I'm putting back in your pocket. The second thing that we do is we buy them as is. So what that means is I'm getting it the way it is right now, where it is. Okay. You don't have to do a single thing to the property, nothing to it. But because we're buying it as is, we are going to do our home inspection, and we're going to check some of the big ticket items. So we're going to check like the roof, the foundation, the plumbing, the electrical, and the swimming pool. Do you have a swimming pool?
Yes.
You do have a swimming pool. Okay, great. So we're going to inspect those things. Now, is there anything that you can think of that might come up during the home inspection that we should be aware of?
Hmm. What's the time frame?
The time frame for the home inspection?
Yes.
The home inspection can be done in just one day. We just take the home inspector over there. They may be there for a couple hours, maybe even 3 hours, but they'll inspect all of those items. I mean, can you think of anything that might come up if as they're doing it?
Oh, nothing I know of. No.
Nothing you know of. Okay. All right. Well, listen, I don't know what we're going to do with the property yet. I'm not sure if we're going to fix it and flip it and then try to sell it, or if we're going to fix it and just keep it as a rental. We may just fix it and try to turn it into an Airbnb. We're not quite sure yet. But if you were to remodel it, I mean, what would you do if you were going to remodel this property?
Probably repaint the walls.
Okay, so you'd repaint the walls. Anything else?
Um, Probably definitely need to get a new HVAC.
A new HVAC. Okay, so we put a new HVAC. Anything else?
Uh, Probably decorate the porch a little bit, make it look more nice and open.
Okay, decorate the porch and make it a little bit more open. Perfect. All right, so these are all great ideas. Anything else come to mind?
No.
Nothing else. Okay, fantastic. Now, just out of curiosity, why are you selling the property?
Um, I'm in the time to retire, and I'm trying to move up north to be close to my family,
Got
so
it.
I relax with family
Okay,
until
so you want to retire and relax with the family and move up north. Is that am I hearing you right?
yes.
Okay, fantastic. Now, here's what's going to happen next. I appreciate you sharing all of this stuff with me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pass this information on over to my partner. His name is Steve. Now, Steve sits behind the desk, and all he does is look at numbers all day long. He determines which properties we buy and which properties we don't buy. Very, very, very intelligent guy. But the best part about him is he's nice. He really cares about people. Okay, so with your permission, I'm going to pass this information on to him, and he's going to contact you. He can contact you today. He may contact you in the next 2, maybe 3 days. I'm not sure what his schedule's like. Is that okay with you?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, fantastic. And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot you over an email so that you have all of my contact information, so that way when we call you, you know who we are. Is that fair?
Yes, that's
Great.
perfect.
So what is your email address? And then I get their email address, and then I'm done. All right. So that's the script that I use every single time, okay, when I'm prospecting somebody. All right. And there's a reason that we did all that. There's a certain psychology behind what I said and what I did. And I don't know if you caught it, but every time I asked you a question, I repeated whatever answer you gave me. And then I spit it back at you. And then I asked for confirmation. So I said, is that right? Am I hearing you right? Did I hear you correctly? And the reason I do that is because I want you to say yes as many times as possible during the conversation. The more times I can get you to say yes to me, the more in agreement we are. Huh?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so those are the little nuances that you do during the course of that script so that you get them on point. Now, the next thing, I don't know if you caught, but I didn't ask you at the why you're selling at the very beginning of the conversation. I know that there's some coaches and there's some people that do that, but the truth is, you start asking somebody a question like that up front at the very beginning, they may not want to give you the real answer. Okay. And so what I do is I save that as my anchor question. And by the time I've gotten them through the entire journey, the entire conversation, they've already given me so much information that me asking them, why are you selling is like, it's the cherry on top. It's like a cakewalk. Like they've already told me everything. At this point, what are we hiding? You get what I'm saying? So I'm sorry about that. My phone doesn't stop sometimes. So anyway, that's the reason that we use the script in that fashion. But now let's talk about the 3 most important questions during this script, okay? The first question was, I asked you what price you were looking for, okay? If you get somebody that says to you, you tell me, make me an offer, what I do is I circumvent that by saying, hey, look, Zillow says blah, blah, blah range. I mean, if you got something in there within that range, is that something you would look at? Now, if they say yes or if they say no, then I decide how I'm going to handle the script. Now, if they tell me, well, we want 500,000, but the house Zillow says it's worth only like 200,000, I don't necessarily stop what I'm doing. I don't kill the call right away. Okay. Yeah, maybe they threw out a figure that was like a little unrealistic, but most of the time people aren't going to reveal their hand. They're not going to reveal their cards just on the first question, right? That's not normal human nature. So you got to get past that first question about price. So if they say, well, I want 500,000. What I did right after you gave me a price was I repeated it. I said, okay, so you're looking, and by the way, you didn't say 500,000, but I'm just saying, I
Yeah.
repeated it and I said 150,000. Is that right? I got you to say yes. We came into agreement. You said yes, that's right. Okay, 150,000. Okay, fantastic. Now, and I kept doing this, if I could get you that price, and I'm not promising you that I can, but if I could get there, okay, and I do that, I did that on purpose, right? That's ingrained in me because I've said this so many times now, but I make it sound more natural. Your script is going to sound a little different than mine, and that's great because that means you're going to relate to people a little bit better than I would, or you're going to relate to people that I might not relate to, and vice versa, right?
Mhm.
So anyway, I said if I could get you that price, what time frame are you looking for? So now I'm looking for, okay, what price are they looking for? And now I'm looking for time frame. Okay. So if they, I don't ask them an open-ended question, I give them options. I don't know if you caught that. I said, so what are we talking about? 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? What 6 months? And I make it seem like it's off the top of my head, but I know what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are we talking about? We're talking 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months. How much time do you need? And then I make it seem like what would make it easier for you? And I wait and see what they say. Okay. Now I've got the price. Now I've got time frame. Okay. If I get those 2 things, that's a warm lead so far, even though their price may be completely out of whack. Okay. Here's where
Mhm.
I find out. Here's where I find out whether they're hot or not. My last question after time frame is, where are you going to next? All right.
Yeah.
If they give me another destination, if they give me another place, I got a warm to hot lead, because in their mind, they're already thinking of where they're going to next. If they say, I don't know, I'm not really sure, I can't really tell, I haven't really given it much thought, I know now that they're not really planning anything, that they're probably not going to go anywhere next, because they're not already planning their next move. But if I can get them to reveal to me where they want to be next, I got a lead. Yeah.
Mhm.
So those are the three things that you need to extract from that person immediately in order for this to work. You got to get their price, even if it might be a little unrealistic. You got to get their time frame. Okay, that's important. And more importantly, you got to find out where they're going to go to next. And if they don't have another place that they're going to go to next, you don't got to lead. They're not really planning anything. They're just, kicking tires.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very, very important. Very, very important. Everybody I work with, everybody I coach, everybody I train, I tell them those are the three things you need to find out. Now, after that, then you can find out all the other pain points. Okay. And that's the reason that I went through that whole script where I said, look, we're going to pay you cash, blah, blah, blah. But then I went to, we're buying it as is. So I'm going to do a home inspection. And then I specifically asked you, hey, is there anything that you can think of that's going to come up? So I'm putting the ball in their court and I'm waiting to see what they tell me. And even if they say nothing is coming to mind, we don't have anything that comes to mind. Then I take it a step further and I say, oh, okay, all right. I don't know what we're going to do with the property. I don't know if I'm going to fix it, flip it, and sell it. I don't know if I'm going to fix it and rent it. I don't know if I'm going to fix it. I don't know what I'm going to do. But you're the owner. If you were to remodel it, what would you do? So look what I did. I asked the same question. I just asked it a little bit differently, and now I got them to conversate a little bit more. But it was the
Yeah.
same question as before, right? Now I
Yeah.
just got you talking about like the remodel, the porch, the everything, all that stuff. And then after that, I said, after that comes, I'm having a brain fart here. Sorry, I'm talking too much, not enough oxygen to the head. Um, after after we start talking about as is, then we move to the anchor question, which is, why are you selling? And like I said earlier, I took them through that whole journey. Now they're much more likely to really share why they're selling versus me trying to ask it at the very beginning. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a copy of that script. That's the script I need you to master. You master that, you're going to identify your leads. And you want it to be consistent. You want it to be the same thing every time. Don't deviate. Yeah, some people are going to give you some crazy objections that you may need help with. But as long as you have the script in your head down, you'll be able to navigate it right back on course. You just got to know how to handle those objections. And the good thing is you'll have access to, you can call me, text me, message me, and I can kind of tell you how to handle some of those objections that you might get.
Okay.
All right. Now, the other thing that you probably need to start doing is you need to start targeting on-market listings. Do you know how to do that?
I just started learning about it today actually because he's like, okay, so right now in the beginning it was it was just him giving us lists and we
Uh-huh.
would call them. Majority of the lists were off market. That's what he wanted us to focus on because his buyers only wanted to buy off market properties.
That's
But
correct.
in my head, like I was like in my head, I'm like, I'm thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, there's gotta be, it's not, there can't be like only buyers want off market property. There's gotta be some buyers out there that doesn't mind taking on market properties.
Look,
So I
at the
started
end of
to,
the day, a buyer is going to buy a deal if it's juicy enough. It doesn't matter if it's on market. It doesn't matter if it's off market. It doesn't matter if it's a pig in a blanket with lipstick on it. If the deal makes sense and the numbers are good, they'll buy it.
yeah,
You just got to get good at sourcing those deals. You got to get good at identifying which are good deals. That's the hack.
yeah, definitely.
Okay. So, all right, let me kind of walk you through. I'm going to do a real quick crash course on market. Okay,
Okay.
this is going to be a huge tool for you. Okay, because the benefit of working on market deals versus off market deals is the fact that these people, they're already waving the white flag. These people are saying, "I want to sell." Okay,
Yeah.
so all right, let's do a quick screen share. Just bear with me 1 second. All right. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to give you a tool. All right. Now, this
Okay.
tool is a spreadsheet. Okay. And this spreadsheet has every search term that you can imagine that is applicable to us as investors. So what I mean by that is there's fixer, there's bankruptcy, there's cash, there's confirmation, foreclosure, handyman, investor, probate, whatever it might be. These are keywords that are somewhere in the description of that property on the MLS. Okay.
Mhm.
And we've created these searches with certain parameters. Those parameters are all 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,100 square feet or more, up to 1,500 square feet. The reason we've created that search is because those are bread and butter homes. Those are the types of homes that sell relatively, quickly, relatively every day. We don't want any like 3,000 square foot homes because those are really big, and the cost
Yeah.
to rehab those homes gets very, very expensive. Likewise, I don't want any 1 bedroom homes, 600 square foot homes, because those aren't in demand. So what we're doing is we've created these searches. They're all 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,100 to 1,500 square feet homes with those keywords in them. What I'm sharing with you right now is worth hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars when used the right way. Okay. So I'm going to
Mm.
give this to you when we're done with this call. You were focusing on GA, on that market.
Yeah.
Okay, so the way this works is you just come down cash, you go to your market, you pick it here. Okay, you
Mhm.
copy the hyperlink, paste it in there, and boom. Now you've got the search already done for you. Now nothing shows up yet because I'm not zoomed in enough. But now if I zoom in, now let's take a look at this. You click remove boundary, you draw, and let's focus just on Atlanta right now. Apply. You've got 50 listings now that are all cash, or that are considered to be all cash investments. So let's look at this one. 274,000, and if you look on it, it says cash or conventional financing only. So they're basically saying this is only going to be able to go cash. It could potentially go conventional, but they're looking for cash offers. They're begging you to make them an offer on something like this. All right.
Mhm.
Now, we're going to go back, and what we're going to do is you're going to sort this from newest to oldest. I want you to scroll all the way down, and I want you to start with the oldest. Don't go for the newest yet. Eventually, you can graduate to that, but for now, we're going to start with the ones that have been on the market a while because they've been beat up more, right? They're
Yeah.
the newer ones, they're fresh. They don't know what it's like yet. So here's one that's been on the market for 160 days. 3 bed, 2 bath, 1,300, 349. This one qualifies as a fixer, but it's a little bit more rural than I'd like to be.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't like too rural, so I'm not going to go for anything too rural because even if you get it, it's a harder sell. All right,
Yeah.
so I want to be closer to the city. Here's a 6 bedroom, 4 bath, 2,700 square foot for 199. This one's kind of cool too, but it's really big. Okay, and let me
Yeah.
explain to you why this can be a problem. Do you know how to like estimate repairs?
Like after repair value.
Not comping it, not the after repair, but how much it would cost to repair a property.
Oh, not really.
Okay, cool. I'm glad we're on this call then. So if it's a lipstick fixer to me is a property that only needs carpet and paint. That's it, just carpet and paint. It's going to be $25 a square foot. Okay. So
Mhm.
this one's 2,700 square feet times $25. That would be 68,000, almost 70,000 just to put paint and carpet in this property because of its size.
Mhm.
Okay. Now that's a lot of money. All right. Now here's the other thing. I don't want you to estimate repairs down. I want you to always estimate repairs up, always overbid on the repairs because I can tell you that it's screwed up a lot of deals when people underestimate the repairs. So in this case, I'm at 68,000. I would probably say there's about $75,000 if I was to say it was a lipstick fixer. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if it's a normal fixer, normal is just it needs carpet, paint, and some remodeling, right? New kitchen, new bath, new bedroom, all that. It's about
Yeah.
45 to $55 a square foot. Normal. 45 times this, that's $122,000 to rehab this. Okay. I would estimate up, I would put it at 130.
Mhm.
Now, this one, this one needs a lot of work. It needs roof, needs this. It's two-story, but I mean, this one's bad. If it's really bad, it's going to cost about 55 to six, excuse me, 65 to $70 to fix.
Yeah.
So let's say that this is 65. Okay, 2724 times 65. Look at that,
Yep.
$180,000 to fix, and look what they're trying to sell it for.
Definitely not.
So why did this not sell? That's why. Right? You'd have to get it at like a ridiculously low price for this to even make sense for an investor. Now, mind you, we don't know what the ARV could be on this, but what
Hmm.
scares people is the cost that it would, the cost to repair it. That's what frightens investors. So why am I going to do a 2,700 square foot home when I can go and find another one for 1,500 or
Yeah.
1,600? Okay. All right. Cool. So now, let's say we found a property and we think it's a potential candidate. Here's what I don't want you to do. People find a property and they're like, oh my God, I got to go comp it now. Let me comp it. Let me get the repairs. Let me get my calculator. Let me do all that. Nope, don't do that. All
Yeah.
right. The reason I don't want you to do that is because you could lose between 5 to 20 minutes for every property just trying to comp them out. All right.
Yeah.
And if you do that 15, 20, 30, 40 times a day, you've lost 3, 4, 5 hours just comping. It's not worth it. What I want you to do is just call the agent. Just get on the phone, call the agent. So Dale Goodman, sometimes Zillow has a telephone number here. In this case, it doesn't. So all you're going to do is you're going to Google this, search for, find the telephone number. Here's the telephone number. And then you're going to call the agent. All right.
Okay.
Now, when you call the agent, a lot of times I hear people that tell me, but Paul, I'm scared to call the agent. I don't know what to say. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm nervous about it. I'm going to give you a script that you're going to use to talk to the agent. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Agents are normal people just like you and me. All right. All they did was completed a 16-week course and passed a state exam. God bless them, but I mean, they didn't go to like 10 years of college for us. Now, some real estate agents, some real estate brokers are highly educated. Okay, highly, but to become an agent, it's just a 16-week course and pass the test. All
Mhm.
right. So I don't want people to ever feel intimidated like they can't call an agent. You can call an agent. It's not a big deal. All you're going to do is you're going to extract information from the agent. You're going to ask the agent another 6 questions. Okay. 6 questions. So if I was to call Dale, here's what I would say. Dale, hi. Listen, my name's Paul. I'm calling about the property at 29 Johnson Road. Number one, is it available? I'm an interested investor, and I just wanted to see if it's still available for sale. It's available. Fantastic. Number two, do you have any offers on it currently? I want to see if they have any offers on it, because if they don't have any offers on it, great. If he tells me, yeah, we're almost about to accept an offer, then I can move on, right? I'm not going to waste my time with it. So do you have any offers on it right now, Dale? No. Okay, fantastic, great. Have you received any offers? I want to know if they've gotten any offers on it, right? Why do I want to know that?
If they got any offers on it,
If they've received any offers.
um, I would say it's basically like to see like just to check them to see like if they gotten offers on it, then why haven't they closed already?
Exactly, right? That tells me if I know that they've had offers on it and they haven't accepted any of those offers, what that tells me is that potentially we've got a seller here who isn't very motivated, right?
Yeah.
So, Dale, have you gotten any offers on this property? Yeah, we've had a couple offers. Oh, you have had a couple offers. Okay. Just out of curiosity, where were they at? What were the offers? What were they priced at? Now you're going to get agents that are going to tell you one of two things. They will share that price with you. They'll tell you, well, we had an offer of like 110, but the seller didn't go for it. Or you're going to get an agent that's going to tell you, like, I can't tell you how much I offered for it, how much they offered for it. Then you just move on to the next question. Okay, great, no problem. So, Dale, tell me, what will the seller do then if they don't sell the property? You need to know this, okay? And
Hmm.
you will get two answers. Number one, they will say, I'm not going to share that with you. That's possible. Or number two, they're going to say, well, they really need to sell. Or they're going to say, they have to sell. It's a divorce, or it's probate, or it's this, or whatever they say. But you won't know until you ask. So you have to ask, what will the seller do if they don't sell the property?
Hmm.
And then you see what they say. And that's important because that tells you the level of motivation. And then the last question that you're going to ask is, well, I mean, is there any flexibility in price? And then you wait and see what the agent says. Then after that, I'm going to say, okay, Dale, thank you for sharing all that information with me. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to crunch some of my numbers. I may get back to you as early as today or tomorrow. I hope that's okay. And then I end the call, and that's it. All right. I don't
Okay.
shotgun blast them an offer over on the first conversation at all, ever. Don't do it. All right. I know
Yeah.
that there's some agents that get on the phone, or not agents, but there's some people that will get on the phone. They'll call the agent. They'll be like, "Yeah, I want to make an offer of like 110,000. Can you represent me?" And that's not going to work. It's not going to work because number one, you haven't extracted any information. You
Yeah.
don't know anything about what's going on, and number two, you haven't built any type of rapport with the agent. So the agent, I mean, you're just another person to that agent anyway. So they have no incentive to try to help you at all.
Okay.
That's the on-market stuff.
Okay.
All right. And so your first few deals, believe it or not, are probably going to come from you going after these on market stuff. Once you've locked some of these in, it's going to probably be easier to do like the seller finance. I mean, not seller finance, seller direct to seller.
Okay.
Direct to seller, you can get them. It's a little harder.
Got it. It really helped.
Cool. Sorry about that. I know I had a lot of interruptions.
No, you're
Okay.
fine.
Now, if you need any additional help, here's what I would suggest. Did you join our Facebook group yet?
The what was it called again?
Dispo Dragons.
Yes, I have.
Okay, cool. All right. Anything else that you might need, just so that everybody else can benefit from a question you might have, post it there. And then either I or one of the other members of the team, they'll go on there and they'll answer. Okay, but I monitor that thing like a hawk.
Okay.
Okay. And I think I sent you a text too, so you have my direct line now too. So if you need something or you got something urgent, you just text me, call me, let me know, and then I can try to see what I can do to help.
Okay. Thank you so much for that.
All right. And I'm still going to share this. Is my screen still being shared? I don't. Yeah, it is. Let me stop sharing. So I'm going to share the this spreadsheet with you so that you have it. Okay, so that you can start using it and you can start going after the on-market stuff.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So hopefully I helped you out. I think I may have blown your mind a little bit, but
Yeah, you did.
but at least, like, again, I'll give you the video and you'll be able to reference it and you can go back to it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem. Take care. Good luck.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.